Elsa did not like it. No, not at all. Astrid checked into Darkur and could find nothing about him other than he was new to Sepamaru and was a mercenary. Leaving the newly formed village unprotected while they searched for star metal was upsetting to both of them, so Astrid suggested that they hire Darkur and have him set up camp a few weeks before they left, just to get to know him a little better. The part she did like is that Thor also volunteered to move to the village to keep an eye on things while they were gone. Astrid spent a considerable amount of time with Darkur. He was friendly, charming, and showed a great interest in their growing village. He even made it a point to get to know all the inhabitants by name, ensuring them that they would be well protected. She particularly didn't like the way he watched Astrid, and she watched him. He was just as charming to her, though, but in a different kind of way. He and Thor hit it off right away, talking about stories of their youth and Lord knows what else. Maybe it was just her. Astrid and Elsa made their preparations for the long journey ahead and said their farewells to Thor and Darkur. Both Thor and Darkur pleaded with them to be safe, and were they not sure they would like them to come with them. They assured them both that they were more needed here to make sure the village was safe and to instruct the workers on the longhouse build. They would be gone for some time and hopefully come back with the valuable metal. Thor and Darkur watched them leave, both with very different reasons for their safe return. Thor watching the woman he cared so deeply about, and Darkur saw only money that may be lost. And what was that ore they were so eager to find? The Shieldmaidens were excited for their journey ahead. Yes, it was going to be hard to leave their newly formed village, but if they could find the star metal, it would certainly bring fame and fortune to them all. They decided to bring along a mount to carry supplies and to help bring home the metal, as well as the black ice. Astrid was confident on how to find a path around the mountain. Darkur had given her a map and warned her about the Cimmerian camps. "There's the path there, Elsa," Astrid said. "We are to bear right at the old ruins." That must be the ruins there Darkur was talking about. Let's go this way. They were out of the snows now, and the path was well worn and easy to follow. According to the map, they were close to the ridge that would take them to the top. "Look there, Elsa. We're getting close," Astrid said. "Darkur says there's a ravine through the rocks we can take, but we may have to clear some rubble." "The ravine should be somewhere here," Astrid said as she continued on toward the cliff face. Ah, yes, here it is, Elsa. Looks like we have some clearing to do. Well, doesn't look that hard to do, Astrid. The only one we really have to worry about making it is the horse. Well, I'm glad we picked out the sturdiest horse we could find, Astrid replied. When they reached the top, Astrid kept her eye out for the Cimmerian camp Darkur said was nearby. There's the Cimmerian camp that guards this place. I'm sure they don't see us yet. So let's get to the top. That has to be the path there, Astrid said, feeling very excited and eager to press on. It looks steep, and it could be icy, so let's be careful. That could be the black ice we're looking for, Elsa. Doesn't look very black to me, Astrid. I don't think that is it. We should go higher. Astrid agreed, and they pressed on. Then she saw it, a rock that looked different than the rest. Her heart began to race. Elsa, I think this is the meteor that contains the star metal, she exclaimed. Look how smooth it is. As she stepped closer, she could feel the heat that still resonated from it. It has to be it, Elsa replied, just as excited as Astrid. We should try to open it, Astrid. Well, it surely can't hurt, Astrid replied. Getting into position, Astrid took out the grease orb and took aim at the meteor. Here goes nothing, she said in almost a whisper. Good shot, Elsa said with a huge smile. Now for the fire orb. The fire orb landed with precision and set the meteor ablaze, cracking it open to reveal the precious ore. Did you see that, Elsa? It's beautiful. We'll wait until the fire dies out. Astrid walked slowly towards it. It was incredible. She stepped in for a closer look. She marveled at its brilliant azure blue color. It was riddled with veins of a glowing lighter blue. She took out her hardened steel pick and began harvesting the star metal. It took many hits to crack it open, but when it did, it fell into 100 pieces, making it easy to carry. Elsa, it's lighter than it looks. The horse should have no trouble carrying this. We've done it, Astrid, Elsa replied. Thor will be so pleased. Now let's just hope the Cimmerians didn't hear us. I'll pack this on the horse. We can look for black ice, Astrid said. Reaching the top, Astrid could see trouble ahead. Time to don their armor and weapons. She could see what looked like rock nose on the further plateau, but more important, ice that was surely black. Leaving the horse behind, they headed to the plateau. That was without a doubt black ice, but with a rock nose guarding it. They advanced carefully. Here he comes, Elsa. He looked to be made of ice, and the sound of their weapons hitting him confirmed it. Astrid was ready to harvest the black ice when she heard it. By the gods, what is that? Elsa shouted. We better be ready. He's huge, Astrid cried. The creature rose to his full height and struck at Astrid. Look out, Elsa! As Astrid avoided most of his blows, Elsa pelted him with arrows and then her spear. When he was down, they marveled at yet another of these strange creatures hiding under the snow. Well, that was unexpected, Elsa laughed. There's our black ice, Elsa. And here, too. Astrid took out her pick and began to harvest the black ice. Do you see that smoke, Elsa? Astrid said as she crept to the cliff's edge to get a better look. There's a huge bonfire down there, Elsa. And I hear voices. I think we should go check it out. Agreed, Elsa replied. So they headed off down the plateau to investigate. They headed down the snow-covered path that was getting dangerously narrow. Finally, Astrid turned to Elsa and suggested that they leave the horse behind. The path was not only getting narrow, but icy as well. "We surely don't need him breaking a leg, Astrid, so I will tether him here," Elsa replied. When they reached the bonfire, they could not believe their eyes. Was that truly a frost giant? Astrid advanced closer, hoping to get some sign that the frost giant was going to be aggressive. He didn't even seem to be aware that they were there. The voices she thought she heard was actually him, alone. He spoke in a soft manner, injected with grunts and sighs. "Elsa, he doesn't seem to know we're here." Elsa was staring at the giant in disbelief. "I think it's safe to get closer, Elsa." Astrid walked around the bonfire to face him, and still no signs of his being aware. She got as close as she dared and looked up at the enormous giant. To their surprise, he spoke.
By the gods of ice and snow, a new dream approaches. Hello, little dream. You are probably not real. I offer you welcome and polite palaver. You are Exile, as am I. Philosopher giant, some call me. I have been called sophist and fool. I am the outcast, and I no longer have a name.
Afraid to speak, Astrid and Elsa remained silent.
I have seen the hoarfrost glittering in the sun. I have heard the wind whispering across the everlasting snows. But with my mind's eye, I have seen the dark universe yawning. I have seen the black planets that roll without meaning or purpose. Name. I apologize, little dream. My kin found my philosophizing tedious, and so they cast me out.
They were shocked that he spoke directly to them in such a friendly manner, but at the same time confused that he thought they were a dream.
The frost giants, the children of Ymir, my kin, they do not appreciate abstractions. No one detested my musings so much as our leader, Hrungnir of the Frost. Hrungnir was a creature of instinct. He only existed in the immediate present. Battle and blood, and the steam rising off a slain enemy. These were all he valued. Hrungnir commanded that I cease spouting my philosophies. Cease even to think them. I could not. Hrungnir stripped me of my name. He beat my skull until the fragmented bones avalanched over my eyes. When I awoke, I was banished. In banishment, I remain.
His story was horrifying and sad. Their hearts went out to this hulk of a being, banished from those he loved because of his beliefs. Such cruelty, and they could see he still struggled with his banishment.
I do not believe the exiled lands are real. Do you laugh? Do you think this statement mad? Let us discuss. I submit to you this first point. This place does not quite make sense. It nearly makes sense, but there are strange inconsistencies. At first, I thought the Exile lands were purgatory. Rugnir, I thought, must have killed me. Then, I revised my position. The Exile lands are a dream. Everything is figment. We are puppets to the bidding of vast, formless things from beyond. Do you not believe me? Let me ask you. Have you dreamed in this place? I have not. You cannot dream within a dream.
I don't know, Astrid, Elsa whispered. I don't think his rungs go to the top of his ladder. We should be careful. His beating at the hands of that tyrant probably did him no good, Elsa. Let's at least hear him out.
Now, little dream, I offer this disturbing observation. You are not real. I do not jest. Think back, little dream. Do you have any clear memories of a time before this place? Can you form a single recollection from childhood? Were you ever even a child? Or did you take form whole cloth when the exiled lands blinked into existence? Nothing is real. There is only empty, frigid space and you. And you are but thought.
She whispered to Elsa, "We must take him with us." "Are you mad, Astrid?" "Listen, Elsa. We are outcasts just like him. Our kin banished us to this place just like him. The only difference is he mentally cannot process the pain of loss and betrayal, and we had each other." Elsa immediately felt ashamed of her fear and lack of compassion. Without waiting for Elsa's reply, Astrid faced the giant. "We are your little dream, are we not? We offer you a new dream, a name and a home. We shall call you Xenos the Philosopher, and we would be honored if you came to live with us." The frost giant thought for a moment. This was not real, and they were his little dream. So what could it hurt? So off the three of them went, higher into the mountains in search of more star metal and black ice. Astrid chuckled as she saw Xenos stop every few steps so as not to outrun them. His strides were so much larger than theirs. They camped many nights in the mountains, giving them time to get to know each other, and for Astrid and Elsa to let Xenos know that he was no longer alone. When they finally made it back down the mountain and out of the snows, it began to rain. This didn't seem to bother Xenos much, and he was quite enjoying this new dream. They were all heavily laden with star metal and black ice, and eager to reach home. It was not far now. Up ahead, Astrid could see the ruins and knew that she should turn left here. But something pulled her closer to the ruins. Then she heard a familiar sound. Ghosts. They stopped to watch as the past played out. So this was why the place was in ruins. They decided to investigate it further, thinking it would be a great place to camp for the night. But as they did, they were surprised by a large bear. Astrid drew her axe, but there was no need. In the blink of an eye, Xenos had taken down the bear and smiled at them. "Nothing hurts my little dream," he bellowed. "Thank you, Xenos," Astrid replied, and noticed that Elsa stood close to him, coming just above his knees. She looked up at him with affection, and Astrid knew a strong bond was forming. After spending a night at the ruins, they headed out first thing in the morning. It was still raining, but the lure of home was strong. Their scouts had warned them that the Shieldmaidens were coming. Thor and Dakur could not believe their eyes. The scouts were right. It was a frost giant. But where was Astrid? Thor was relieved he could clearly see Elsa, unharmed. Dakur's heart sank. Astrid hurried to the longhouse, bracing herself for the onslaught of questions and scolding. Dakur looked at Astrid straight in the eyes. "Don't you know frost giants are a wild beast? He could turn on all of us at a whim. If he harms one hair on Elsa's head, or this whole village, it will be all on your shoulders, Astrid," Thor added. She knew they were right about the frost giants, but not this one. She squared her shoulders and stood tall. "May I remind you that I am your Jarl, and I would not endanger this village. My decision stands. Xenos will stay, and you two shall hear him out before passing judgment." Dakur inwardly smiled. What a woman she was. Strong, fierce, priceless. Astrid returned to Xenos, eager to give him instructions on how to enter the village. "You return, little dream. May we go home now?" Xenos said, eager to embrace his new dream. "Yes, Xenos. But these little dreams have never seen a one such as you. They will think you a nightmare. So you must show them how gentle you are by following me through the village without stopping. Do you understand, Xenos?" "Yes, little dream. I will walk with Elsa, and they will know that I am a good dream with much to share." Xenos followed Astrid to the entrance of the village, his footsteps shaking the earth as he approached. Astrid glanced back at him. Gods, he was a formidable sight. The sheer size of him, blue skin and long tusks, would terrify the most brave of men. She walked him slowly in. She had briefed the village. Most stayed inside, but some cowered in fear, yet curious to see him. "This is your new home, Xenos," Astrid said, as she led him to the plateau across from the longhouse. "It is here we will build a place for the village to come and listen to your philosophies and learn. We will also build a temple to our god Ymir, so that he may protect us through you. All will come to be your friend, as we are, Xenos. You have a new home." Xenos was overtaken by this dream, and he prayed to Ymir for the first time in years that this new dream would never end. Elsa watched Astrid carefully as she introduced Dakur and Thor to Xenos. Looking at him, Thor and Dakur could not fathom how two women would dare approach this frost giant, let alone bring him home. But these were not two ordinary women. These were the Shieldmaidens. Hello, little dreams, Xenos began. I see you are friends to my little dreams. Then you shall also be my friends. He launched into his story, and Dakar and Thor quickly realized that this was no ordinary frost giant. He was likable, if not a bit confused. Astrid was right. He posed no threat, and the benefits of having him here would far outweigh the risk. It would not be long before news of him spread, and all would fear and respect this village. They would support the Shieldmaidens' choice and encourage the villagers to come and listen to Xenos the philosopher. Thor could see that Xenos had taken a particular shine to Elsa, and knew she would be in good hands for the rest of her life. Dakar, on the other hand, realized what a problem he could be. Knowing what he had planned, he would have to tread lightly with this one.